Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, today we're going to take what is usually the most stressful, chaotic part of post-production and transform it into a beautifully streamlined, professional workflow. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed when sitting down to edit a project, just staring blankly at a screen full of messy files, you are in the exact right place. We're going to look at how the pros organize first so they can actually edit faster, completely eliminating that pre-edit anxiety.
Picture this. You've just wrapped filming on an incredible documentary. You've got hundreds of amazing video clips, deeply moving interviews, sweeping drone shots, plus tons of photos and audio files. You sit down, fired up to create an absolute masterpiece, and then you need to find one specific clip. And you realize it's called video_0047.mp4. It's buried in a sea of other files named the exact same way. This right here is the universally relatable nightmare of a disorganized project. It kills your creative momentum instantly. But here's the secret. Professional editors completely avoid this problem before the editing even begins.
To get you out of that nightmare, we're breaking this down into 5 steps. The unorganized editing nightmare, backup and build folders, importing and using bins, the power of renaming, and finally, think like a professional.
So, let's jump straight into Section 1, the unorganized editing nightmare, and why beginners lose files.
The contrast here is honestly pretty striking. Think about it. So many beginners make the massive mistake of editing straight off their camera's memory card, or they just dump everything onto a messy desktop with zero backups. What happens when that card gets unplugged or corrupted? Total disaster. Your work is just gone. But the secure, industry-standard professional workflow, that means having organized folders, explicitly named clips, and dedicated backup drives. Good organization doesn't just make editing easier, it actively protects your project from confusion and incredibly costly mistakes.
Which brings us right to Section 2, backup and build folders, setting up your protective shield.
Before you even think about opening your editing software, you've got to copy your files. Never, ever edit directly from your camera's memory card. Get those files on your computer or an external hard drive. And the golden rule here, the absolute non-negotiable mantra you need to memorize is this: one original copy, one backup copy. That is the magic number. 2 separate locations. Because if one drive fails, your project still survives.
Once everything is safely backed up, it's time to build your house. You'll want to create one main folder for your project on your computer. Let's just call it My Film. Inside that main folder, you create a specific tree of subfolders. We're talking dedicated homes for video, audio, photos, music, graphics, your actual project files, and your final exports. The whole philosophy here is super simple. Everything has its place. When you do this, it becomes incredibly easy to find exactly what you need later on, no matter how crazy complex the project gets.
All right, moving right along to Section 3, importing and using bins, bringing media into your software.
Now, before we start dragging anything into our timeline, we really need to clear up a huge technical misunderstanding. When you hit import in your software, whether you're dragging and dropping or using an import button, you aren't actually moving the video file inside the program. Importing a file simply tells the editing software where that file is stored on your hard drive. Your software is basically just creating a shortcut or a map pointing back to your folders. And that right there is exactly why building those external folders first is absolutely critical. If you move a file on your computer later, the software's map breaks and your media goes offline.
Okay, so once you've imported your media, you're going to run into a fantastic piece of industry jargon, the bin. Now, to a beginner, a bin sounds like a trash can, right? But in the editing world, a bin is simply a digital folder inside your editing software that you use to organize your media. It's actually a cool little throwback to the old days of film, when editors would literally hang strips of physical film into these big canvas bins. Today, it's just your internal organizational system. And pro tip, professionals rarely, if ever, dump everything into just one bin.
So what should these bins actually look like? Well, they should mirror the logic of your computer folders, but get even more specific for your edit. Your standard setup should look something like this: interviews, drone shots, B-roll, music, sound effects, graphics. By categorizing your media into these specific digital folders, you take a massive project with thousands of assets and turn it into a total breeze to manage. You'll know exactly where to click when you need that perfect swooshing sound effect or that sweeping aerial shot.
Next up is Section 4, the power of renaming, finding clips in seconds.
File names can instantly tell a story. Take a look at this. On one side, we have DSC_0048.mp4. Or worse, the classic Final Edit V4 Really Final. I mean, that tells you absolutely nothing. If you have 50 clips named like that, you have to sit there and watch every single one just to find what you want. But on the other side, interview farmer take one, or sunrise drone wide. Boom, it's instantly clear and descriptive. Taking just a little bit of time to rename your most important clips completely transforms your process. This tiny, kind of tedious step will literally save you hours of frustrating searching when you're deep in the flow of editing.
And finally, let's look at Section 5, Think Like a Professional, the mindset for long-term success. Because here's the thing, professional editing isn't just about flashy cuts, it's about discipline. Let's summarize the rock-solid foundation we've just built. Step 1, copy and backup. Always protect your original footage. Step 2, create folders. Give everything a home on your drive. Step 3, import media. Bring it in without breaking those links. Step 4, organize bins. Sort your media logically inside the software. And Step 5, rename clips to make your files instantly searchable. These 5 chronological steps are the absolute bedrock of every single professional workflow out there, from quick little social videos all the way up to massive Hollywood blockbusters.
You might be surprised to hear this, but professional editors often spend the very first part of a project doing nothing but organizing. Literally no editing at all. And yeah, it might feel slow at first, but a clean project drastically reduces mistakes. It speeds up collaboration if you ever need to hand the project off to an audio mixer or a colorist, but most importantly, it frees your mind. When you aren't stressing out hunting for lost files, you are completely free to focus on what actually matters, the storytelling.
So I want to leave you with this final, really important question to test your own workflow. Whenever you're setting up a project, ask yourself, if I open this project 6 months from now, will I immediately understand it? If the answer is yes, your organization is working beautifully. You're designing your workflow not just for today, but as a gift to your future self and anyone else who might collaborate with you down the line. Look, organization might be the least glamorous part of filmmaking, but it is undoubtedly one of the most valuable skills you can possibly master.